Victor Wembanyama is off to one of the best starts we have ever seen in an NBA player's third season. So far this season, Victor Wembanyama is averaging 31 points per game, 13.8 rebounds per game, 60% shooting from the field, and is almost averaging 5 blocks per game. That is not human. There is a reason why his nickname is the Alien. What he is doing is absolutely incredible. And Victor Wembanyama the other night against the Pelicans almost had a triple-double with blocks. He had 9 blocks. That is absolutely insane. Victor Wembanyama in his third year has taken such a huge leap. Obviously, you know, last year we've seen kind of the leap from Victor, but he looks so comfortable right now in the league. Obviously, you can tell by just the way he's more comfortable with dribbling, putting against defenders. Obviously, Victor is much stronger this year than he was his rookie season, which we kind of figured would happen as, you know, he kind of got longer in his career. He would get stronger, and his strength is really showing this year just with the way that he's playing in the post, playing against bigger defenders, and just the way that he's able to drill and just kind of dribble and bump off defenders. The San Antonio Spurs also look great, and it's just absolutely insane. He has a chance to do something that only 3 other players have done in NBA history: win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same year. The 3 other players to do this: Hakeem, Jordan, and Giannis. That is some rare air that Victor is around, okay? Michael Jordan, obviously one of the greatest players of all time. Giannis will arguably go down as the greatest power forward of all time, in my opinion. And Hakeem Olajuwon, top 3 big man of all time, in my opinion. The fact that Victor has a chance to do that in only his 3rd season is incredible. And how quickly he has adapted to the NBA game, he's only going to get better. I believe that we will be at a point later in Victor Wembanyama's career that I think by the time it is all said and done, if he can stay healthy, obviously, which that's what a lot of this, you know, depends on. If Victor can stay healthy, there is no reason why he won't be in regards of the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James, the Kobe Bryants of the world when we come to talking about the best player to ever play in the NBA. Obviously, Victor had so much hype, and I mean so much hype coming into his rookie season. And we all thought, you know, okay, these guys got a lot of hype. Worst case scenario, you know, if he didn't pan out like people thought he would just be, you know, an elite rim protector because of his height, obviously. So he would still have a good career. But honestly, Victor has lived up to expectations and honestly has exceeded them. I mean, obviously, when LeBron came into the league, LeBron had very high expectations, the chosen one, everything like that. And LeBron has exceeded his expectations. But what Victor is doing with obviously also a young Spurs team. This Spurs team, you know, it's got a few veterans. It's got Harrison Barnes, obviously, and some other guys. But it's a young core, man. So when you talk about the Spurs and what Victor and them are doing, it's even more impressive, okay? Because you have Dylan Harper. You have Stephen Castle. You know, you've got some more young guns on that roster. And obviously, you've got De'Aaron Fox. They have 3 elite guards, in which, honestly, De'Aaron Fox, I don't know where he comes into this equation. That honestly might be what hurts the Spurs this year. It's because they already have 2 elite guards. And Dylan Harper looks elite on the pick and roll with Victor, and so does Castle. How do you fit all 3 of these guys into? I mean, one of them's gonna have to come off the bench, obviously. But it's like, who just comes off the bench? Or do you try to package 2 of these guys together or something like that for another elite star they'll put with Victor? That's also a possibility. What do you do? I mean, there's no way you ship off De'Aaron Fox. You just signed him to an extension when you got him last year. So, when you look at everything, man, and what Victor is doing and the leap that he has taken. Last year, obviously, you know, Victor had the blood clot, had to miss the rest of the season. But even last year, he averaged 24 points, which is up 3 points from his average his rookie season. He shot about 3% better from 3 than he did his rookie season last year. And then obviously his assists and steals and everything like that were kind of the same. But this year is a huge leap. Obviously, we're only 4 games into the season so far, currently, as I am recording this. But so far this year, he's at 31 points per game compared to his 24 from last year. He's at a 60% field goal percentage, up from 47% last year, and his rookie season was 46%. Obviously, can still change as, you know, we have a long way to go during the season, but still very impressive at the start of the year. 36% from 3, up about 1% from last year, so not really a huge, you know, jump, but you can tell that Victor's much more comfortable taking his threes now. And I feel like maybe last year in his rookie year, he was maybe kind of trying to force threes a little bit more. Now he's kind of just taking what comes to him, which I really like, and it's making him more lethal, I feel like, this year. He's not really trying to rush his shots. He's kind of just taking his time, you know, getting down in the post, kind of working a guy down if he's smaller, which, I mean, obviously everybody's smaller. But, you know, he's kind of just taking his time. He looks more comfortable with the pace and being able to control the offense, which I really like, and I think is what has contributed to, you know, his elite performance this year. And then obviously, you know, his rebounds are up about 2, so, you know, he just looks more comfortable, and I think that's a huge thing for Victor. Also, I just think the core that they have works so well, especially with the young guards that they have. It works really well with Victor, and it makes the PNR so hard to guard, because obviously you don't have anyone tall enough to guard Victor, so that's a problem within itself. But then also just the speed and the athleticism that they have of their guards and the height, it makes it very hard to stop a PNR like that. So yeah, I mean, the Spurs just look so good. Victor looks incredible. I'm super proud of the leap that he has taken and just everything that he's doing. I mean, guys, he's only 21 years old. 21. That is actually insane. Victor Wembanyama, I know it's early, but he has a chance to become one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Actually, no, scratch it. Victor Wembanyama has a chance to become the greatest NBA player of all time. He really does. He truly has a chance to become the greatest NBA player of all time, surpassing Michael Jordan, LeBron, Kobe, just because he is a freak of nature. And I truly don't think we will ever see anybody like Victor ever again. I really don't. I don't know where you'll ever see a guy 7'4" like this and be able to move with the ball like this. I don't. Maybe it'll start making Victor Wembanyama's in the lab. Cloning them. I don't know. But the NBA is in trouble because they're only going to get better. The Spurs. The Spurs may have their dynasty coming back. The Spurs might be a dynasty once again. If it continues to go down this path. Because you're always going to have an unstoppable force in Victor. And if you keep those 2 young guards, 3, depending on what they do with their guard situation. I just don't see it. I don't know what a team's going to do. I really don't. Because now Victor's comfortable. The first 2 years, Victor was still kind of learning the game and, you know, kind of how to adapt to the NBA style and how the league plays. But it looks like he understands it now, and that's trouble for the league. And he's stronger. He's not really that weak anymore. I don't know what you're gonna do. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about Victor Wembanyama's start to the season, and what you think the Spurs' chances are to win the West this year, and what you think about Victor's chances to win MVP and Defensive Player of the Year this year are. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.